more than they win. They've been doing this for a while. I'm looking for other material. I'm looking ahead. Good morning to you. Good Monday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports. This is Daily Shot of Pirates. It comes your way bright and early every weekday. If you're into football and or hockey, I also offer daily shots of Steelers and Penguins where you found this. Angels 7, Pirates 5. That's 1 out of 3 in Anaheim for the visitors. Moving on to San Diego, where they'll face the Padres for 3 games beginning tonight at Petco Park. That's a 9:40 p.m. first pitch. And I'm not looking forward to it any more than you are. Don't lie to me that you are. There's certain elements of it that are going to be fun. Henry Davis going deep twice off Shohei Ohtani was fun. Andy Rodriguez hitting his first home run and getting all fired up before David Bednar's game-saving pitch was fun. Leo Verpagero taking home when that ball got away. Fun. But even then you can tell fun is measured. And really, we'll have time to talk about the kids. We might have years and years to talk about the kids. I want to talk about bringing the veterans back for 2024. I'm not going to sit here and do a hard list of who absolutely positively should be back because I can't guess. And maybe even Ben Cherington can't guess right now at what he'd get offered. If someone offers, for example, a really, really nice prospect for a Rich Hill or a Carlos Santana or a G-Man Choi, I'm listening, okay? I'm not slamming the phone down on anybody. But there's one veteran out of the group that isn't going anywhere, and that's, of course, Andrew McCutchen. He's just not. He's just not. Now, look, if the Washington Nationals call and say, we'll give you Dylan Cruz for Cutch, you're not slamming the phone down on them either, but that's not going to happen. No one's going to do that. Cutch is going to be a Pirate for the remainder of his career. I don't have to guess at this. I've been told this. And I've also been told by Cutch himself, there's nowhere else he wants to go. That doesn't mean he would pound his fist or whatever and refuse to report to Washington in the Dylan Cruz trade, but it does mean that he'd much rather be here. So all I'm going to suggest here, before we even get into the Major League Baseball trade deadline season in which a lot of names are going to come up, some of which will be uncomfortable to hear, like David Bednar, but you're not going to see, hear, or read anyone who has any concept of how to cover baseball reporting that Cutch is among them. He's not. He's just flat out not. So sign him. Sit down with him. The same way these other talks took place over this past winter involve the owner if it's seen as necessary, although Bob Nutting really wasn't involved in that process beyond the initial portion. Cutch went to Bob. Bob went to Travis Williams and Ben Cherington and told them how he felt about it. Travis then went and gave an instruction to Cherington to the effect of, if we begin negotiations here, we've got to finish them, meaning find a way to get it done. We're not going to risk any backlash, whether it's public or just from the player himself, in getting into something and then not finishing it. Well, go ahead and do that for a couple of reasons. One is it'll, I think, kind of settle things down regardless of what happens at the deadline, regardless of who goes. You won't get the sense within the clubhouse that, here we go again. We're just going to be getting rid of everybody here in short order. You'd also be doing right by the player. You wouldn't be waiting to see if he gets hurt. And I know that's the first thing that probably crossed your mind whenever I even suggested this. is, oh, why would you do that now? Because what happens if he starts, just limps out of the box and whatever? I don't even want to describe it. You're doing right by the player. You're saying, we respect you. This is guaranteed money for next year. And we're anticipating that you're going to be every bit as good next year as you've been this year. And by the way, when's the last time you looked at Cutch's stats? But he's been good, like really good for 36 years old. 267 batting average, 381 on base percentage because of his 52 walks. 381. Do you know that that's a higher OBP than he had in his rookie year here in Pittsburgh in 2009? Did you know that? 381. 10 home runs, 22 extra base hits. There's nothing that he hasn't brought you at the plate. He's been good on the base paths. He hasn't played much in the field, obviously, but he's been just fine in the field. And by being that DH on a team that flat out can't hit, and by being that guy who's immune to any hitting coach, good or bad right now, he's been one of 2 or 3 people who've been able to rise above the Andy Haynes effect all summer long. Imagine if and when you do bring in a competent hitting coach who can work with the kids, who can make them better. And you'll already have had Cutch and, I don't know, we'll see what happens with Santana, Choi, these other guys, but you'll have Cutch. And you'll know that there's nothing that the hitting coach is going to do in one direction or the other for him. He's just Cutch. If this sounds like I'm bringing this up for, something that might benefit the team from PR purposes, I really, really don't care. But they do. And they should. In this case, the 2024 schedule came out a few days ago. Believe it or not, people already look at that thing and wonder, am I going to commit? Are they going to commit is actually the better question. This would be a decent start. When we come back, J1Q. This portion of Daily Shot of Pirates is brought to you by our friends at North Shore Tavern. That's directly across Federal Street from PNC Park. It's home of Steak on a Stone, an eating experience, underscoring the word experience. The steak is brought to you partially cooked on an 800-degree stone, and you do the rest. It's a ton of fun, it's a great meal, and it's a baseball atmosphere like no other in Pittsburgh. North Shore Tavern, right across Federal Street from PNC Park.
Your front door, your car, your bike, your computer, your gun. Safety is a habit. Every day you lock and secure your home and everything you want to keep safe. Gun safety and responsible storage are no different, and the best way to help prevent accidents, misuse, and theft. If you have a firearm, own it, respect it, and secure it. Visit ProjectChildSafe.org. Brought to you by the National Shooting Sports Foundation and the Bureau of Justice Assistance.
Today's J1Q comes from Dante, who says, DK, I think sufficient time has passed to file a missing person report with local authorities. Has anyone seen All-Star Mitch Keller? Seems to me he's been missing since May. There's this imposter who's now on the wrong side of a 4 ERA. Look, he hasn't been great, but I'm not into any kind of broader panic mode over this. In June, for the entirety of June, he had a 3.56 ERA, and opponents batted only .214 against him. It's July that's the issue, and even within July, he had one excellent start against the Diamondbacks. Might have been one of his best, actually. And he's got a 7.04 ERA this month. Yesterday, and I'm sure that's what kindled this for you, against the Angels, he lasted 5 innings, gave up 6 runs, 9 hits. But even there, he struck out 7 and walked 1. So if he's missing a little bit in the zone, and a team that's second in the majors in home runs clubs a couple off him, and one of them is Shohei Ohtani, I don't know that I'm ready to attach a trend to it. I don't certainly think I'm going to go, well, here's the old Mitch again. It's not fair. It's not even accurate. If you go over the past calendar year, if you go back to before this point last season, Mitch was really good. It's been a full year that Mitch has been really good, and now he's hit a little bit of a patch. Almost everybody does. You know, Ohtani himself gave up 4 home runs to the Pirates. I don't mean to be that guy, but, you know, Ohtani's actually had a couple of starts in a row now for the Angels where he's gotten hit pretty good. He'll be back. And don't do that. I heard you. Don't do that. I did not compare Mitch Keller to Shohei Ohtani. I'm just saying that pitchers very rarely make it through 30 or 32 starts without some kind of bump where they need some kind of reset button. And I think that's where Mitch is right now. I don't know that there's any, oh no, we've lost Mitch. I'm fairly confident he'll be just fine. I appreciate the question. I appreciate everyone listening to Daily Shot of Pirates, and we're going to do another one of these tomorrow.